So, warm welcome to one and all present over here. It is our honor to have Mr. S. Viganesh sir, project engineer, ICT consultant, Tirunelveli Smart City Private Limited, Chennai, as our session chair. He has done his Bachelor of Engineering under Triple E in Prince Dr. K. Vasudevan College of Engineering and Technology. He has also completed PGDM under Marketing in ITM Business Schools. Sir is the certified trainer in IoT and embedded systems from NSIC. Sir has also got certification from government in design thinking from Singapore. Following all the remarkable projects undertaken by him, Tirunelveli Smart City Limited overall PMC, Smart Street Light Monitoring, followed by Chennai Smart City Open Data Project and Data Smart City projects, Madras Waste Exchange, that is app-based waste segregation method, city investments to innovate, integrate, and sustain challenge, introduction of IoT and blockchain to existing business, industrial IoT POC in boilers undertaken by Ministry of Power and Grid, Austria. Sir, it is our indeed pleasure to have you as the session chair. So please take over the session chair.
Am I audible?
Sir, your voice is not more audible, sir.
Hello? Hello? Am I audible now?
No, sir, not more audible, sir. Actually, it's quite low.
Hello? Hello?
Hello, sir.
Yeah, now?
Sir, it is too low, sir.
Am I audible?
Not audible, sir. Quite low.
Am I audible now, ma'am?
No, sir, not it.
Just a minute.
Okay, sir.
Hello. 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 Hello.
Sir.
Am I audible?
Sir, சுத்தமா கேட்க மாட்டேங்குது.
Hello. இப்ப கேக்குதா ma'am? Hello.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Much better இப்ப?
Sir, please start, sir.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, thanks for that brief introduction. So myself is Vignesh, so whom I'm gonna take this complete session for all the faculties present over here. So rather than I go by a monotonous presentation, running through the slides, I prefer, asking more questions from your side as well, so that the session becomes more interesting. So that, first half I'll show you some the technical presentations, and the second half, or the second half of the first presentation itself will be more towards a case driven approach. Why? Because since we have handled a plethora of IoT projects in the real time cases, and myself being basically associated with the government side, so we do introduce many ICT related stuffs. So let's, please stop me then and there, and you can actually interrupt in the middle, and you can feel free to ask certain questions, so that we don't make the session continuously and run through presentation. Ma'am, can you allow me to share the screen, ma'am?
Sorry, please.
Yeah, just
Sir, you are the host. Please share your screen.
okay. Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
So, see, generally, we are all aware of this Internet of Things technology, and the complete world is focusing towards this particular technology, and there is an enough value for this IoT kind of things. So, just let me go through on basics of how this IoT is all about. To get started with, what is an IoT, history of IoT, and all the essential features of an IoT. Will just see on an run through in basics. And coming to this section, like what is Internet of Things? It's just an network of physical objects of the things embedded with the electronic software, sensors, and network connectivity, which enables these objects to collect and data exchange the data. There's no specific single defined definition for the Internet of Things. It can be any which ways, as we have our own definition for this particular technology. So and in my personal pursuit, I just consider this Internet of Things technology as an advanced system of machine to machine learning, or an advanced system of an embedded systems. In generally, we are seeing many kind of embedded projects and embedded related steps. So all these embedded things have an M2M communication. So from there, we are moving to the cloud-based and the mobile-based monitoring solutions that would actually give you a better, result anywhere across the globe. You can sit and monitor the data live. So yes, coming to the what is the Internet of Things? Like these devices collect useful data with the help of various existing technologies, and then autonomously flow the data between other devices. As I said, it is also considered in my pursuit. It is an advanced version of embedded systems. So in general, if you consider this IoT, it's like a bouquet of technologies which would actually comprise of everything down under the sky. Like whatever the emerging technology you discuss about, it becomes an additional layer of this Internet of Things technology, say around artificial intelligence, say around the blockchain technology, or whichever technology you speak, that will definitely come under the IoT. Even nowadays, the government is focusing more on the cyber security. Why? Because just making the things interact and have an effective transfer of the data doesn't matter. It has to emphasis on how better you make them both get communicated in an secured way. That is where the nowadays we see an increased emphasis on the cyber security steps. So when we see the history of IoT, it all got started in the year 1999, and Kevin Ashton was the one whom he coined this term, and he's been called as the father of IoT. And he actually coined this term in the MIT Boston. So when he was discovering some websites with that, and he is that person whom because of him only we speak about the IoT, and we explore many things. But initially when he started his experiment with the having RFIDs, and all these IoT projects got started with the effective usage of RFID. So from the RFID only, these kind of Internet of Things technology got groomed. So yes, coming to the how this particular technology IoT as in works is like it is it can also be coined as the Internet of Everything. So this consists of the all web-enabled devices that collect and act on the data they acquire from their surrounding environments using the embedded sensors, processors, and communication hardware. So ma'am, is it fine like if I navigate between Tamil and English, or yeah, is there anyone whom they doesn't understand Tamil?
Sir, people are from mixed community, sir. Better if you can continue in English.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Uh,
Yeah. So when it comes to the Internet of how this kind of IoT works, as I was discussing earlier, advanced version of M2M and the embedded based solution. Generally, we have executed many machine-to-machine communication, especially when you take the case of the industrial purposes. We do have a short range of communications, and many projects gets executed through the short range of communication, say with the help of Zigbee or with the help of Bluetooth. You try to accomplish this. But when you give a communication device, or when these kind of sensors detect some data and pushes it to some kind of protocol, wherein that particular protocol helps in transmitting the procured data to the cloud. That's where the application of the IoT just gets started. So when the data is pushed towards the cloud, from the cloud, it's cloud is nothing but an you can you all are aware of the processes. So how well the processor works, and what are all the different things you can dump under the processor. It has a enough space down under the sky. So in such way, when the data are pushed to the cloud, from the cloud you can actually monitor it through the front end applications, like as we do the web based application or mobile based application, whichever mode you feel convenient to see the procured data. So this is the actual parameter working on how the uh, generic layout of the IoT projects generally work. So see, this has considered the complete life cycle of the Internet of Things project is like you collect the data, communicate and push it to the cloud, wherein the analysis happens over the cloud, and from there when it gets to the front end monitoring, it acts on its own way. So these are all the essential things that does happens in an Internet of Things project: communication and cooperation between the various devices where we are using this IoT based application, and the addressability of each and every sensors and the protocols and the devices like Raspberry Pis and the various features that enhance the complete life cycle of the internet. And then the identification and the sensing, activation, these are the three most crucial parameters. If any one which it fails, it does leads to the complete failure of the project. Identification ka matlab, like what I'm trying to say is that there must be a good interoperability between the devices what they are actually communicating. So when you have a better interoperability feature between the devices which they communicate and give you a better front end, that becomes the main success of the Internet of Things project. And obviously embedded information processing and the localization, user interfaces, like what kind of the front end application you go for, and .NET, or you go for a Flutter language, or you go for an Android, whichever you give the front end application to monitor the procured data. Also that is what I generally meant as interoperable. So which does mean that each stage of the IoT should IoT project should have an efficient and an effective way of communicating between each other. So then comes the structure of an IoT. So when you see the IoT, can be viewed as a gigantic network consisting of network of devices and computers connected through a series of intermediate technologies where numerous technologies like RFIDs, wireless connections may act as enablers of this connectivity. So as I said, tagging things, real-time item traceability and addressability by the RFIDs. So as I was mentioning you earlier, all these IoT projects got started from the usage of RFIDs. So any projects, you can make this particular project as an IoT with the usage of application of this particular RFID tags, provided if that RFID is necessary and essential for that project. So then next comes the yeah. Okay. So yeah, next comes the feeling things. So which is like, sensors act as primary devices to collect the data from the external environment, and shrinking things, which I mean by the miniaturization and the nanotechnology, has provoked the ability of smaller things to interact and connect with the things or smart devices. So this is like Raspberry Pi kind of devices, which helps basically the data to push forward from the sensor collected data to the cloud section. So it acts as a bridge in pushing such data. So this is what they meant by the shrinking things of an IoT project. Then comes the thinking things, which is the embedded intelligence in devices through sensors has formed the network connection to the internet. So it makes the things realizing the intelligent control. So this is where you could make all your analytical kind of operation, and the thinking things section basically involves most operations happening in the cloud section.
Sir,
So
Vignesh, sir, a small help.
yes, yes,
Please
ma'am.
go to presentation mode, sir. Presentation mode. Yeah. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. So yes, now this is how a general IoT project can be understood within example of an pyramid. I have drawn the structure. So first you collect that data. From the collected data, you process it as an useful information. From the accessed information, you procure some knowledge, and upon procuring the better knowledge, you go for a better understanding, and from the better understanding you make the intelligent decision of evaluated understanding. So this pyramid is actually applicable for the AI related solutions as well as the internet of things kind of projects. So why? Because when you procure some kind of different data, the processing of the data is becomes more crucial. So that section mostly we would handle in the cloud and the front end structure of the internet of things project. So in general, what I would say is, if one want to pursue himself or herself a better IoT engineer, or if one wants to make themselves as a better IoT professional, I would say that it's like an bouquet of technology where they can actually master themselves in one single particular driven area or an approach. Say if you are a good embedded engineer, you does play a crucial role in IoT. If you are a very good cloud specialist, you make a crucial a game player or a team player in the IoT complete end-to-end integration. And if you are a very good mobile or an application developer, you also play a crucial role in the IoT project. So one cannot actually master in all these areas. It does takes a huge lot of time. So in whichever area or in specialization you have your own expertise, try building your capacity in that particular area, and see to that you can contribute any single section of the IoT, and you understand the general generic way of approach how this kind of project is completely driven. Maybe later down in the use cases, when I show you some videos and also the real life cases which we have done, I will be able to take you through a better understanding of how the IoT projects are being executed. And see, this is the phenomenal growth that has happened right from the 2003 until the when I'm saying from the time of RFIDs until the 2020. It has been mapped with the world population and the connected devices and the connected devices per person as well. So this is the complete statistic that would help you in showing on how these devices, the internet of everything or the internet of things, does play a crucial role nowadays. When we step out of our house, or I would even say that when we are sitting inside our house, we transfer continuous data in some which ways or other. Say example, for every 1 hour, at least say around 10 to 15 minutes we do see our WhatsApp. So in such ways, like, you emit a good amount of data or consume the data from the internet service providers which they offer you. So which means that you are emitting some kind of information to the particular company. So in that way, every hour in the complete world is surrounded by the usage of internet, and in some way or other this IoT gets applicable in every single hour in a day for an humans. So these are, some of the potential value of the industry, internet, and this is generally called as the IIoT, Industrial Internet of Things, wherein the connected machines and the data could eliminate up to $150 billion in waste across the industries. So wherein which, the aviation field or an power or a healthcare industry or an rail and the oil and gas, so whichever field you take, there does exist a huge application for the internet of things. And in the rightmost column you could see the amount of uh, revenue it would actually generate to such particular industries. So these are actually done by the GE standards, and does see the efficiency of this IoT. So when you as in faculty, when you plan up some good project with regards to IoT, make it more sector specific rather than, just mentoring your students, or you yourself personally pursuing for some PhD research kind of projects. Ensure that, you go for a sector driven approach and see to that whether that particular sector makes much difference on application of your particular IoT project. So that would be in efficient value of the prototype what you make for the particular industries. So when you come to the case of this future of IoT, for sure, it goes beyond than this. But as per the current stats and the survey, they say that, 50 billion machines would be connected, and everywhere, your data and your information gets accessed everywhere every now and then, because of this Internet of Things technology. And that's how the complete world gets connected in one way or other. But again, coming back to the previous discussion which I was, emphasizing on you, that, plan yourself accordingly for a sector driven approach, and, try making the IoT application of more specific towards that particular industry, say around healthcare industry, and even the retail industries, and the government sector, and to a great extent in the hospitality industries. These are the crucial areas where nowadays there is a huge usage of the Internet of Things technology. And this is the gradual growth on how, from the 1999 or the 2000, the technology got leveraged over step by step. And how in different fields like, supply chain or the vertical market applications or the positioning, in whichever way you see that, it is a gradual growth on how this has been, flourished over this past 20 years. I mean, the 2 decades, right, from which this IoT was coined. And you have very well understood from the current graph, which shows you, the parallel growth for the need of resources, in this particular IoT. As I was mentioning, in which field, if you are more expertise, and if you feel that, I can very well contribute in this particular area, so you try making your capacity more built towards that, and see to that how well you can actually act. So yeah, next comes the potential of an IoT. So when you see this particular graph, the transport and energy, and the it's just shows you on how this particular IoT works in this combined of all the sectors put together. Transport is a different sector and energy is in different sector. So which they mean by this individual networks. So they are actually connected, not only them. I'm just taking this as an example. Apart from that, you have education sector, business sector, home, the complete earth, and the other sectors as well. So when each and every sector is getting connected, there does lies a transfer of information from one sector to the another sector. So that but complete sector has to be secured when they communicate between both, or when they communicate between in either which way they communicate, maybe a reverse model, or it may be a straightforward model, or it can be the communication between any which ways. So that has to be secured with the security analytics and the management. So all such operations happen in the cloud only, the uppermost surface. So technological challenges of an IoT. See, basically, when a new technology gets boomed, you do always have an pros as well as the coin. As the coin, single rupee coin has the two sides. The similar way, it has, it has its own advantages and the disadvantages. So at present, the IoT is faced with many challenges, such as the scalability. Uh, yes, scalability. Why so? Because the cost factor of the selection of the materials, and the uh, generally India does not have that good efficient professionals in terms of PCB fabrications. So in those areas, like, we do lag, and it takes a huge lot of time to fabricate certain circuit boards. And the technological standardization, uh, which kind of policies and which kind of standardizations you need to follow. And obviously the interoperability, which I was explaining you earlier, and the software compatibility as well, for which IoT project, what kind of platforms you need to use. And nowadays, you have many IoT platforms, like Amazon Web Services, or even the Ubuntu, or in the case like Altison. So when you go for a project driven approach, I do always suggest the clients, or the people whom they want to implement this IoT, go for a platform specific. Certain IoT platforms will be good in delivering for certain sectors. So in that case, go for a platform driven and a platform centric approaches. So again, the data volumes and the interpretation. So where do you go and store the data in a single minute, or in 5 minutes of time, how many datas you want to push it to the cloud. So in order to handle such voluminous data, you need an efficient power supply. Why? Because if you have that only, you will be able to run a better data center. And the interaction and short range communication, so, and the wireless communications application, in order to increase the bandwidth. And nowadays, post COVID, everywhere we see there is a heavy usage of the online methodologies. So wherein in such cases, you need to go for a better bandwidth, plan increasing your bandwidth in a more efficient way. So all these are, if all this gets strong, then only and real application of the IoT happens in a niche way. So, and criticisms and controversy, criticisms and the controversies which the IoT actually has, the privacy, the security, and the social control, the political manipulation, design, environmental impact, and the influences and human moral decision making in driving this particular IoT project in a very niche way. All these factors you need to undergo when you plan for an IoT. The factors which I have mentioned here, take into consideration, before you plan for any new project. So try thinking in all these aspects and plan your IoT project accordingly. So these are some few applications, which I have personally handled. The smart parking, which you would have seen in the left side, and we'll see that particular case is in detail in the upcoming second half of the session. And obviously the waste management, in smart cities, how effectively nowadays, many cities have started adopting the Wi-Fi enabled dustbins, and the bin filling concepts using the a remote or a mobile based application. So all these, are some few applications. Now we shall just see a small video on the. So this is actually, a real time application on how the IoT does play a crucial role in one human life. The entire day on how you start with an IoT application, and how you end the day with an IoT application. So this is all about the overview on how an IoT will actually be. So now I'm ready to take up the question for 10 minutes before I go on to the next session. Hello.
Sir.
Yes, ma'am. யாராவது கொஷின்ஸ் கேட்கறதுன்னா கேட்க சொல்லுங்க ஒரு 10 மினிட்ஸ்க்கு
Sir.
செகண்ட் செஷனுக்கு போறேன் அதுக்கப்புறமும் திரும்ப ஐ எம் ரெடி டு டேக் அப் தி Q&A.
Professors? Dear professors?
Yes, madam.
Sir. Dear professors, please interact with the sir as he is already engaged with the AICT projects in IoT implementation. Sir is working with the current projects in Tirunelveli.
Okay, what is the case? Can I move on to the next?
Hello, sir.
Yes, ma'am. I like. Is there anyone who would like to ask?
Marisan sir,
Yes, ma'am.
would you like to ask any questions to sir?
Actually, there is a connectivity problem, madam. Actually, I could not hear his voice.
Okay.
There is a problem. Then and there is a disconnectivity.
Okay.
No, I can hear you, sir. Hello.
Your voice is clear.
Even now itself, I am not able to hear his voice, madam.
You are audible, sir, for us.
Yes, I think there is some network connectivity in his side actually.
Sir, you can post your questions, sir. We will see in the
Okay.
bottom.
Hello.
Prakash, sir.
Hello.
Sir, please.
Yes, madam.
Sir.
Nothing, madam. No problem. Clear.
Would you like to ask any questions, sir?
No, madam.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, sir. Mr.
This is from Murthy,
Yeah.
working as assistant professor.
Okay.
I need some clarifications about Wi-Fi technology, which is most suitable for IoT technology, sir.
Yes, sir. Tell me, sir.
Which Wi-Fi technology is most suitable for IoT applications?
Currently, which Wi-Fi you are using now, sir?
We are trying with LoRaWAN, sir. Compare with LoRaWAN, is any other devices can I use?
Sir, depends on the industry and the sector-based approach. So you can go with if you want a very long-range communication. I would. Am I audible, sir?
Yeah, sure, sir. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Forward,
if you want to prefer for a long-range communication, I would say nowadays there is good usage of narrow band IoT, NB IoTs. And
okay.
when you go for a LoRaWAN based, yeah, I do agree completely. They are giving good bandwidth, and the LoRaWAN has now introduced new communication models. So both are really good, but when you in terms of a more efficient network connectivity, better bandwidth, I would prefer NB IoT rather the LoRaWAN. But when you are trying to implement within a short range or the data transfer would be in a short range, then you can obviously go for
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you.
Box is also really good, sir. You can prefer for that as well.
Sure, sir. Sure. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Good afternoon. Hello. Ma'am, I cannot hear your voice. Sorry. Can you type your query, ma'am, so that I can see in the chats? Well, I see Mr. Morrison is speaking, but I'm not able to hear him properly.
Oh, Marishan sir, please text to me so that I can post the question to sir. Marishan sir, please text to me.
Uh, who, Don? Sorry if I'm spelling your name in a wrong way. Please do pardon.
Marishan sir, yeah.
Don Doggles, right? Yeah. So,
Mm.
is there any possibilities of introducing IoT in education? So why not, sir? It has a huge scope nowadays. You know, the smart cards. I mean, especially the student ID cards, and you know your daily class enrollment, the attendance systems. Everywhere, you know, you have a huge application of Internet of Things. So you can actually plan I mean, you can introduce the ID cards in an RFID mode, and you know, once they enter the campus itself, this RFID gets communicated to the local sensor which we have placed in every class, and that would actually send the data to the server or to the local cloud. From there, you can push the data of the student whom they have logged in today and whom they are absent actually. So with that analytics, you can go for an easy calculation of your attendance to give the internal marks for them. This is just an example. In this way, in education sector, you have plenty application of an IoT you can do. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Hello, sir.
Yeah. Hello.
Mari,
Sir, am I audible? I'm Morrison from Virudhunagar, sir.
Yes.
audible sir, please speak.
Tell me, sir. Yes, sir. S-
Sir, good afternoon. Very wonderful session, sir. But there is a connectivity problem then and there. So we are not able to listen continuously.
I really,
Okay, one general, sir, am I audible?
sir, your voice is cracking, and you know I'm not able to hear you properly. Ma'am, நான் பேசுறது கேக்குதா?
Okay, sir.
Yes sir, you are audible sir. உங்களுக்கு கேக்குதுங்க sir.
தெரியலையே sir.
உங்களுக்கு கேக்குதுங்க sir.
Yeah. So, sir, Morrison sir, உங்களது கட்டை கேக்குது sir. I think some network issues from your side. I'm not able to hear you properly. அதுதான். Can you query, sir?
Now, sir, now it is clear.
Much better, sir.
Now is it clear?
Yes, sir. Now
Actually, okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So nowadays we are using the bike regularly and in large number daily. For preventing the accident or regulating the our riding pattern, is there any IoT models or projects are there for implementation, sir, for preventing accidents? Today we can see in roadside many people are riding with a bike, two-wheeler, and they they are not following even regulations. Okay, sir. Is there any project you have for preventing the accidents by two-wheeler. Can you please explain, sir?
Actually speaking, speed using some sensors you can do.
Sir?
Can you hear me? Hello.
Only little bit, sir. Little bit voice I am receiving.
No, sir.
Okay, no problem, sir.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. I can understand your query. I'm saying that speed limiting
Now I am getting.
speed limiting sensors can
That
be
is
inside our vehicle, and you can reduce the speed of the vehicle to a certain extent. That is one possible solution. And beyond that, nowadays there exist some helmets. I'll just remember and tell you the name of that particular helmet, which comes with an inbuilt face recognition camera that would actually help you in seeing the rear view as well. You just need to ride the bike alone, and you do not see anywhere in the side view of the mirror as well. So that actually helps you, and the monitoring also comes inside the inbuilt helmet itself. So it ensures the safety of the rider as well as the pillion rider in bike cases.
okay.
Sir, another question from
Now it is being
Professor MV.
implemented or it is in logic level, sir.
Sorry. Okay. Sorry. Sir, can you type that? Yeah, I think I have one question from Professor MV Churat.
Correct.
Yeah.
How IoT can be applied in agricultural sector?
IoT has a huge application in the agriculture sector. So take case of soil moistures, and the soil sensors are exclusively IoT. Uh, uh, there is a specific platform for agriculture IoT. It is called a KA IoT platform. Is especially meant for agriculture, where it would help you in detecting the soil moisture, soil content, and in which soil you can actually root many good for better cultivation, smart irrigations, and the using the drones you can actually spray the seeds. All these are come under the IoT for agriculture. So IoT has a huge application in terms of agriculture, and in terms of the dairy farming or cattle rearing, again IoT has a huge application for the betterment of the fodder feeds in order to refill the fodder capacity. Everything can be seen as a mobile-based application.
Sir, another question posted by Maniyarsan sir.
Yes.
How it will be best used in the food processing machinery?
Yes. Processing and applied in plants growth monitoring.
Plant growth monitoring and food processing manufacturing machinery.
Exactly. So I'll first answer the plant growth monitoring. See, in plant growth monitoring, I would say the AI does plays a crucial role. For example, if you are planting, as I said, AI is also an additional value-added services of an IoT project. So when you go for planting a tree, say neem tree or banyan tree, you just we tried exploring this as a project itself. You just need to actually take a selfie or a picture of that particular plant, wherein it would give you the alerts and notifications on the subject matter of that particular plant. For example, if you plant a neem tree and take a picture of it with an algorithm using the Digitros we did actually. So when you plant that particular tree, you have to dump the data sets inside that mobile application. On if it is a neem tree, you need to water for every 3 days and add manure for the fourth day. So in that way, if you have written a pre-written algorithm, that would make your plantation process more effective and also the more efficient way. So coming to the question of food manufacturing machineries, okay. So food manufacturing machineries, matlab like as in food manufacturing process you are asking, or the food manufacturing machineries alone you are considered?
Maniarsan, sir. Professor Maniarsan,
Yes, ma'am.
please clarify your question, sir.
Okay, ma'am. I have doubt clear, madam. I
Sir
have
is asking, is it food manufacturing machinery or food processing?
food processing or food manufacturing industry. You have apply relation. So how to connect the IoT to food manufacturing machineries?
Tracking and monitoring, preservation of the food particles, all these comes under better live monitoring using a web based or a mobile based application can be done, sir. This is actually, and I think there is a good startup which is working on this particular thing. They have come up with an IoT device, say around it's a palm size IoT device that would help you in viewing the vitamins and the consumability of a fruit or a vegetable when it is kept inside that particular IoT device. Those startup is based out of Coimbatore. So they have done it exceptionally good, and they have done it using the AWS platform only, sir.
Okay, okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, professors. Any more questions? Dear professors, please raise your voice, or you can post it via chat box. Sir, another question posted in the chat box, sir. Can you suggest which network server most suitable for research work and real-time applications?
Currently, which network server you are using, sir? Mr. Murthy Veluchami.
Murthy Velusamy, sir. Professor Murthy.
Yes, yes, sir. TTN network we are using, sir, now.
Okay, okay. Sir, preferably for research work, I would suggest you go for an cloud-based application, sir. Why you are very particular on going for a network service?
Okay.
So in that case, I would say better for a will be more effective for you.
Sir, I am not clearly get your voice, sir. Your voice is breaking.
Better you can go for a ThingSpeak IoT platform. I'm saying, sir.
Okay, okay, sir. Okay.
ThingSpeak is there wherein it comes with a package of inbuilt analytics as well. Of
Okay.
free of cost actually, and you have certain data limits for that. For research purpose, I think there won't be much data pushed inside the cloud, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So in that way, you can go for an real-time cloud application.
There is any limit for the?
ThingSpeak you are asking, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
No, no, not at all, sir. It is free of cost, and you can push any number of data, sir.
Okay, okay.
In terms of Google or AWS, the charges will be applicable, but in ThingSpeak, you don't have it. But again, there isn't much security as compared to the other platforms. I mean, the network security is of not up to the mark of AWS or the Ubuntu.
Okay. Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Yeah.
Thank you for your valuable information. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Murthy.
Thank you, madam.
Okay. Ma'am, can I go for the next presentation, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Please, sir.
Yeah. Just a minute. Yeah. Is my screen visible, ma'am?
It's visible, sir.
Yes, ma'am. So this was one of the project, which
Please go to presentation mode, sir.
yeah. So this was one of the project, which I was handling for the feasibility of this particular project. Just a minute. Yeah. So this was one of the project, which I was handling for the better feasibility, once it came into the market to understand how this can effectively be, implemented across various states and even cities across the India. So this, this has been an India's first. I mean, there are people doing in private sectors this kind of, valet-based parking or an, multi-level parking kind of things. But our Chennai Corporation was the first to implement the complete mobile-based parking application, and it was also the India's first initiative through the smart city. So let us see in detail how this, this is what the presentation schema goes all about. And, so it's just an intro on what this smart city project is all about. I think you would have been aware of, everywhere speaking about smart city, smart city. So what is the real smart city is all about? It's just an project which has been introduced by the central government in order to improve the better infrastructure that enhances the better livability of the people, so that they can have good benefits given by the corporation in a much more advanced way. So in that way, Chennai is also one of the 100 smart cities selected, and it has been operating in a special purpose vehicle format, and the various fundings will be given to the SPV and the concerned corporation, and that this happens in an 50-50 way with the central government as well as the state government's reporting hierarchy. Next, coming to the, this parking management objectives. This is how the general project, presentation or the project proposal would go to the government. In an initial stage, proposal submission and the jury panel has to approve the project. Then the empanelment of the consortium and the bidding, tender, etc., etc. All these stages go. Then finally, when once the contractor gets onboarded, the testing, final implementation, and the go live on the gets started. Post the go live gets started, we go on for the operation and maintenance of the particular project. When you see in the left side, the main objective of this project is to first agenda is to develop an image analytics technology, enable the parking system on a real-time based mobile application that can be implemented in parking lots. Well, I'll show you of how this is actually over the next slides. So then comes the proposed mobile app should enable the available parking slot on a real-time basis to the web portal or the parking app with an entry exit, that is the number of slots available and the number of slots vacant and the number of slots filled. All these things has to be continuously updated in the mobile application as well as in the web dashboard. Improve the organized parking, and you have to try in certain places, it just happens in an organized way. So all these things has to be organized properly. So basically, this IoT project has three categories of parking. One is the walk-in parking, wherein they will bring the vehicle to the particular parking slot, where the attendants will take the image of the number plate, and it just goes to the cloud, hits the cloud and gets a confirmation, and the attender gives the challan for the parking. The second is obviously online reservation, like sitting in our home and booking the particular slot. A third one is the and a smart card would be given, wherein the monthly parking you can actually avail. So these are the complete objectives of why this has been implemented, and all these things happens in an core infrastructure. Provision and installation of appropriate camera, that is the image analytics. So I'll show you how that image gets captured and what kind of cameras have been used for this capturing the data. All the cameras must communicate back and forth with the central control center. So you have a command and control center which is being operated live in the Chennai corporation. So from there we'll be monitoring the continuous 24/7 monitoring of which are the vehicles coming, going, and what is the number plate and what is the type of the vehicle. All these things gets recorded in that camera, which has been, it's a high-end camera that acts beyond particular features. Then comes the provision of the parking management and parking guidance system through the mobile and LED signages, which would show you the number of parking slots available and all other features. And provision of intelligent tow trucks. Generally enforcements. In a no parking zone, if a vehicle is parked, you need to tow that particular vehicle as in considering as an enforcement, and you need to drive away such vehicles. All these things happens by the pure recording of the cameras and the sensors kept in that particular place, and organize and collect the revenue as per the tariff fixed by the concerned smart city or an municipal body. And the analysis of the data using the software what we have built for this particular project. And then next comes this is the complete operations getting involved in this particular smart parking project. Making the unorganized system as an organized way. That how do you do that in the on street as well as the off street? I mean the residential areas. I'm saying on street is the main roads, off street is the residential areas. So what are all the things you do in this particular IoT project is the usage of mobile application for a front end monitoring to book your slot available, to see the vacant slot available, to make the transactions, etc. And obviously the central control center. It's a kind of cloud solution wherein the every data gets fall into a typical data center. It's actually, and then comes the revenue collections, the vehicle number plate, image capturing, the video analytics actually, tracking the reports regularly, and the data connection and the analysis which is happening. So this is how the mobile application of the parking management will be. This is called the GCC mobile application parking management system. And once the user logs in, he must give all his details and the type of vehicle which he has. And if a single individual does have both the four-wheeler as well as the two-wheeler, he needs to register himself separately. And in the right extreme corner of the screen, you can see the either way he can book when he is traveling using his four-wheeler or using his two-wheeler. So when one goes for a successful booking, this is how it will show you that when you are standing near and or when you are about to start for an outside journey. For example, in this particular case, I have considered that you need to park your vehicle in Bizanagar beach. So when you try to book that particular slot, this is how the acknowledgement gets for your mobile side. Post which, when you go and show this e-challan on the particular place upon reaching, you will be given an physical challan, wherein you can pay it through through the digital transactions which to the attender. So once you arrive over there, the attender clicks an image of your number plate, so which gets synchronized with the booking application which you have made through the mobile app. So this is how the general payment registration on the server based, and we here use the FTP server for the in a sense we have more pushing of data, and also we see a huge application. Why? Because this particular parking management has been widespread across the city in several places, and there won't be any wonder that if I say this has been spread across the 12,000 equivalent car spaces. We have around 12,000 spaces in the city happening this particular procedure of parking. And so this is the general system architecture which is showing you on how from the camera we push the data to the central server, and we use the real-time streaming protocol, since it is on live all the time 24/7, and even in night times also we have certain parking goes happening. That's why we go for the RTSP procedures, and the cameras are connected to the server via the TCP/IP protocol model. And this is the payment methods and the payment wallets which we have basically. So, and the different QR codes which get generated upon parking. So this is actually the markings which generally this project when we gets kicked off, these kind of the markings will be made in that particular place. This will be planned accordingly. And in the right extreme corner you can see the camera which has been fixed. So the camera actually focuses the vehicle standing in these particular slots, and you could see a better image on how these slots have been numbered. And this numbering will actually communicate with the mobile application and gives you the number of vacant slots and the available slots with the images just captured from the camera. And for that particular purpose we use the NVIDIA platform or to control to the command and control center as well. So this is the and live monitoring captured image. So you could see that the red color image on the right side of you will show you of how this number plate of the vehicle gets captured and how the pop-up gets appeared in the control room. This kind of operation only happens in the control room, and in the bottom of it the number plate along with the owner's name gets continuously popped up in the dashboard of the vehicle. So this is how the general usage of the thing happens. So this particular case has been captured from the Elites Beach point of view, wherein which you can see that this project has been and successful, and we see that more usage of vehicles happening in that way in the Besant Nagar beach, and the type of vehicle and the mode of vehicle also gets detected through this hidden algorithm. And again, this is a screenshot which has been captured from the Besant Nagar beach parking. So this is the web dashboard view, and these are the parking slots available spread across over the city. And this is the control room, command and control center monitoring view on how the real-time monitoring appears across various locations where you have placed this parking management solution. So continuously you can monitor in a different mode how, how and which places have this been parked. So these are some of the success stories, and there's some video or some which I don't want. I mean, it's like a 5 minutes video. Rather than showing you the video, I'm interested more in taking questions. Why? Because this is the India's first initiative. So I don't know how many people are using it, or how many people would love to come to Chennai and experience it. So that's it. This is the system integrator whom they have did this complete parking management solution, and that company is called SSTech, and they have done plethora of Internet of Things and the SaaS-based projects for the government for the past several years. And, thank you for giving me. So now I'm ready to take up certain questions. Hello.
Sir, I'm Ramakrishnan. I am Jay Ramakrishnan from Sakshi Polytechnic College, Europe, sir.
Yes, sir. Tell me, sir.
Presentation, sir. Very nice, sir. Very good knowledge sharing has taken place. And I want to ask one question: whether the valet parking system is also included in the smart city system, and you are into something doing in that area also, sir. Please give us the.
Yes, sir. Actually speaking, valet parking can be done, but we have reached the smart parking itself. There won't be much emphasis on the valet parking, sir. Like we used to keep ourselves upgraded, no, sir. When there is an emphasis of using and better preference of one technology over the other, I see that gone are days of using the valet parking. But nowadays, you can give a mobile based and a cloud based surveillance rather than going for a valet based parking. Valet based parking, you can do it using the RFID.
Excellent, sir. Excellent. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Any other question? I'm just seeing my chat. Yeah. Any other question? Yes. One.
Dear professors, please interact with the sir. As he is involved in many government organized organizations where IoT is implementing. So while interacting with you, you may get valuable inputs which can be shared with the students.
Yes, ma'am. That's the reason I didn't play the video as well. So I would love to interact and get your answers very answered. So that's why.
Sir, nowadays, as government is insisting us, even DOT insisting us to implement certain projects towards the rural development. Yes, the sirs are involving in tomorrow also one session by Arul Prabhakar sir. He is also from NSIC. All these people are directly and indirectly involving in the implementation of IoT in rural villages. So you may get input from him. Kindly interact with the sir.
Sir, good afternoon, sir. Sir, I'm Wilson from St. Joseph's, Trichy, sir. My question for you is clarification and some suggestion from you. Is it possible to train the students who are interested in their project, especially final year project, to at least venture into this smart city projects? Is there any possibility for the students to be accommodated, interested students who are able? Is there any possibility, sir?
Thanks for raising this wonderful question. Actually, it's a very important announcement which I'm going to, it's a kind of information I would say which I am willing to give to all the professors and panels whom here present. There is an internship scheme called TULIP internship scheme. It is called AICTE TULIP internship scheme. So when you are engineering students whom they are in the final year or just passed out, they have an opportunity to work with any of the smart city they are willing to, provided they need to take a small evaluation test. Post that, they will be engaged with the concerned corporation, municipal corporation, or the smart city which is working under that corporation for a period of 6 months, and they will be paid a stipend in the range of 8,000 to 13,000 as per the particular municipal corporation's funding capacity, and they'll be hired on a contract for a period of 6 to 8 months. So that experience would be a remarkable experience for all the engineering students or the polytechnic students, which they can actually use this experience certificate for any kind of jobs they are gonna go for the future. And engaging themselves with an corporation or a municipal body is itself a very big exposure to them.
Thank you, sir. At least we come to know about that project now. Thank you very much. Is it only for the engineering and polytechnic? What about arts and science, especially science students? Are they eligible, sir?
Yes, actually speaking, MBA students have also applied for TULIP internship scheme. I don't know how far arts and science, but I have seen several media communications, who are put in media handling. They have,
We have electronics departments. We can also get involved in the smart city. That's the reason I asked. Thank you very much for your. Is there is a need? We'll come in touch with you, sir. If you could share your email ID. Thank you.
you're from St. Joseph's College, right?
St. Joseph's College, Trichy, sir.
Yes, yes. Honorable Finance Minister's College, right? I mean,
Yes, Abdul Kalam Sir's College.
Yeah, I know.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
Myself, Professor Mahesh Thorat from Sandeep Polytechnic, Nashik, Maharashtra.
Maharashtra. हाँ, बताइए sir.
Actually, I want to ask you one thing that from long time I'm just having in touch with the word that like smart cities and all projects. Why government is not making all villages smart, and why how this IoT will implement to all Indian villages, rural areas, and agricultural sector. Most of the Indian economy is depending on that. So is it possible to connect this IoT with that agricultural sectors?
Sir, I was mentioning earlier about the smart irrigation and the soil contents checking using the IoT, and the sprouts and the seeds spraying using the drones. Wherein you have a huge application of IoT in with the emerging technologies in terms of agriculture, sir. So for a plantation and even pre-harvest, post-harvest activities, everywhere IoT plays a crucial role, sir. Ensuring your growth, ensuring the growth of the plants and the time and the nature of the growth. Everywhere you have an IoT application, sir.
Okay.
I even
Thank
mentioned
you, sir.
our platform, which is actually good for the IoT. And you have one more platform called Altizon. It is Mumbai-based Make in India product IoT platform, which is also doing exceptionally good nowadays.
Okay, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Sorry, I missed Mr. Murthy Veluchami, who answered his internship question, right? Yeah. Sir, Mr. Murthy sir is on the line. Sorry, I didn't see the chat. No, I'm seeing.
That is no problem, sir. I already I got your information, sir.
We were asking sir, this internship actually speaking when Mr. Wilson asked, he's from Trichy. You can actually approach your local corporation for the internship opportunity, sir, to do with them. And I don't know from that.
So clearly, I'm not getting you.
No, sir. You are from which area? I mean, Mr. Wilson can actually approach Trichy Corporation for this particular tulip internship. They'll give.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Wilson, sir, I'll share the sir's contact number and all everything to you, sir.
Are you?
Thank you.
I'll
for
do.
your.
Yes, sir. With the permission of sir, I will share with you, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Yeah, ma'am. Is there any other questions, or like can we wrap it up?
Professors, any more questions? I will share with you the contact details. You can interact with him personally. Thank you so much, sir. Vignesh, sir. Thank you very much. Your valuable time. As you said, you are quite busy with this hackathon works and all. In spite of that, you have shared your valuable time with us. And the real-time projects you have explained very clearly, sir. And thank the professors also to raise different questions, which was help us to deliberate to the students. On behalf of Self-Fund Management and the JRG Polytechnic College, we are heartfully thanks to you, sir, Vignesh, sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I once again thank your college as well as all the participants whom they have taken time to attend this particular seminar. And thanks for the opportunity again. Let's stay connected. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, can I leave the meeting?